Hello, drawing students. Welcome to week 6. I hope all is well. I'm looking forward to seeing your 7 to 10 step value study. I really hope that the videos were helpful. I didn't really hear too much from anyone about that, so I hope that you all had a good handle on it. Learning to master values is going to be important for the rest of the midterm and actually the homework assignments coming up. So up until now, homework assignments, I've just been giving full points if you completed them. But for homework 6, 7, 8, and into the midterm, there's going to be grades for skill, in which I'll have a rubric for you. So we'll go over that today, and so that way you'll know how you're going to be graded. Now, for the progress on the midterm, if you don't turn progress in, I can't give a grade. So I'm suggesting that if you want any kind of a grade, just turn something in at least so that that way you can get a grade for that. For homeworks 1 through 5, some of you folks were a little late, and that's fine. We can work with that. But as far as progress goes on homework, it's a little bit different to grade that way. Okay, so let's go ahead here and take a look at what's going on this week. Basically, all you're doing is you're going to start applying values to your midterm, in which I've supplied you guys with a bunch of videos so that you can help get your mind wrapped around it and kind of figure it out. All right, so here is the grading rubric. So the grading rubric is going to kind of work like this. For the homework assignments, it's going to be 10 points, and for the midterm, it will be 100 points. But these are the areas of focus. We're going to be looking at content. Is the grid drawing complete with all of its values? And I'll give a score for that. Probably, and then craftsmanship, where all the directions followed. Neatly drawn. Project overall is neat and polished, no rips, smudges, rolls, curls, and creases on the paper, and so forth. Composition. Are you using the rule of thirds? Is the drawing done in the appropriate size? Is it the same size as your reference image? Technique, skill. Drawing was closely observed, drawing what was seen, not what we thought it should look like. It's going to be very important in this next process that we just try to draw what we see. If using the grid system, you're able to look at one of the little squares and just kind of put the color where it really needs to go to. I'm going to really suggest you watch the videos because I picked them out, I handpicked them out, and I think that they're really good. Anyway, effort and participation. The student took their time to complete the project with care. Class time was used in regards to participation, active listening to instructions, and so forth. So this will be the rubric for your homework in case you have any questions. Of course, if you hit all the marks, then you're going to get a full score. Okay, so let's get that out of here. All right, and let's do a little bit of housekeeping. Just want to make sure, students, that you guys are watching the whole videos and reading the assignments and reading them in the syllabus, as I've taken a lot of time and great care to make sure that you are very informed and you have the knowledge that it takes to go ahead and succeed in this class. Okay, so like I said, we're going to be starting the midterm. The midterm will be due on week 8, but you will be getting a weekly grade for your homework each week until the midterm is due. So please supply progress each week in order to get a homework grade. Now, one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to suggest that you might make your reference image into a black and white image. If you make your image into a black and white image, it will allow you to see the values a little bit easier and identify them through graphite onto your drawing. You don't need to know Photoshop to do this. If you have a screenshot of your image or if you have a photo of your image, you can use your photo editor, and your photo editor can go ahead and make it into something that's a black and white. If you prefer to use your color image, that's fine, but if you do choose to make a black and white image, you'll have to probably draw a new grid on top of it. Okay. All right, so let's see. A few things I wanted to go over was the five value system. So give me just 1 second so I can pull that up. So, this is one of a strong drawing from one of the students from another college. And, this student's a nursing student. They've never taken a drawing class, and they did a really good job. And one of the reasons why this is such a strong drawing is because they were following the values. Instead of looking at what the drawing is, they were looking at where the shading goes, and that's what was going to help create the strength of this drawing. Uh, there's something called the five value system, which is the light, highlight, halftone, coarse shadow, reflected light, and cast shadow. Um, all of these things are what gives something form and realism. And if you don't have all of these things, like the light, the highlight, the halftone, the coarse shadow, the reflected light within the coarse shadow, and your cast shadow, it's going to be really hard to achieve a realistic success or a success of realism. Um, anyway, you can kind of see how their grid's still kind of showing through, but they drew it really light so that it's not distracting. So I'm kind of hoping that you guys are going to go ahead and do something like that too. I hope you paid attention when I was saying, let's keep these grid lines light. If they're dark, I would run an eraser over them so that they would at least not compete with the drawing. So this person's got an excellent range of values. It looks like they go from 1, and it might even go up to like, I don't know, I think we got like 10 steps of value here. And that's kind of what makes something like this successful. And I don't see any reason why you folks couldn't achieve something like this. It's just like coloring in, and if you just focus in a little bit, it'll actually help you clear your mind, I think. Okay, so let's kind of go through some of these videos really quick, and I will kind of go over them with you. So, this video here is a 2-minute video, oops, hold on, sorry. And it's pretty much this guy and his process in doing a portrait. Now, drawing a portrait's no different than drawing a landscape or an object. You're still looking for those values and trying to put them in the right place. You can see this person has numbered and lettered their grid so that they can work in the actual area and apply those certain values there. You notice how he's building up the value. He didn't just go ahead and try to make this black right away. He's working his way to the number value that it is. I'm going to suggest you students work on a kind of a 10 value system. I think would be really helpful. And anyway, watch this video. Not only do we have this video here, but this video here, he's kind of explaining his process.
So now that we have the grid on both the photograph and the blank,
so this is about a 10-minute video, but for those of you that like to be self-paced and want to learn as you go, it's good to watch someone's process. If we were in the classroom, I would kind of try to perform this for you, but this is really great that you have a video of it being complete, and you can take it home with you and watch it. So anyway, like I said, this is kind of the longer explained version of this other link, which I am going to put into the announcement. This particular artist here has a really great system. She makes a little viewfinder window, and she works one square at a time. So that way when she's looking at a square, she's looking at it abstractly. All she sees is shapes and values, and that's what she's trying to achieve, are those same shapes and values. And I think that that will be helpful for you folks as well, especially if it's a little challenging and complicated. But she does a really good job explaining, and she's got a great process, and you can see she's numbered and lettered her grid as well. Okay, this man here, he's drawing a landscape, and I think that this is a really long video, but he does a really good job. I mean, if you can look at this realism that he's got going on here, and basically, if you just look at the little square, he probably is just kind of, opposite to that girl, he's kind of working through. He's not working square to square, but there's no real wrong process. Whatever you feel is comfortable is what's going to be helpful here. But you can achieve a nice real realism. I mean, this is just graphite, and all he's doing is matching the values and putting the values in the same place. So it's just like coloring. I'm going to suggest that you guys use your range of pencils that you have. Try not to use one. Some of these guys are really good, and they can get away with one, but they've had years and years to practice. This
Launching a
is a
rapid
little
fire
video
tutorial.
here where it's kind of about shading and using your values and how your values are important to achieve some kind of realism. Now, what the young lady is talking about here is that the more values that are in your reference image, the more form and realism you can achieve. The less contrast, the more flat your drawing can be. So, being able to find that range of value and apply it will actually make your drawing a lot stronger. Okay, now these are optional tools. You do not have to get them, but if you would like, they might help your drawings out. Sometimes tools make all the difference, and the right tool for the right job can make the drawing real strong. Okay, so here's a nice graphite swan. You guys have pencils already, and you should have had a little bit of an explanation about them. These are called tortillons or stumps. These are used to blend graphite or to smooth graphite. And what you do is you'll use this side here and you kind of use it to smudge. Now, you don't need to get one of these if you don't want to. You can actually use a pretty, like a paper towel to help blend or something like that. Uh, these are called kneaded erasers. Kneaded erasers are not like regular erasers. Kneaded erasers kind of take away layers at a time, and they're really good for blending as well. So if you want to get some kneaded erasers to help with your drawings, those are really good. The regular stick erasers. Now this is what you're probably accustomed to because it's similar to the eraser that would be on the back of a 2B pencil. This is just meant as an eraser. Let's just remove graphite as much as possible. Versus this kneaded eraser, which will do a graduated removal. A layer at a time perhaps. This is what's called fixative. Now, the thing that fixative does is it makes it so that you can work on your drawing, but after you're done, you spray it with this stuff so that there's no smudges that can happen. Um, and you'd want to get a workable fixative. Workable fixative. If you just get a fixative, that means that you'll spray it and you probably won't be able to work on it again. Drawing boards are always useful. I have a ton of these, but like I said, all of this stuff's optional. I just kind of want to go ahead and explain it to you so that you have an idea of what there is out there. There's some tips for when you're applying value. This one's an important one, especially for those out there that are, you know, might be trying to get the assignment done a little bit quicker. Don't scribble. It'll make a mess. You won't have fun, and it'll be really upsetting. All the work that you've done already, you'll have to start all over again just to try to get back to the place where you were at. You want to try to do smooth lines. I would work from light to dark because that's a little bit more forgiving than trying to go from dark to light. So whenever you're working on something, do a light layer first and try to build it up, like the guy in the video that I showed you, the one that was doing the portrait. Use a light touch for blending. So you can see, you can get a nice blend without any blending device, but with those tortillons or your finger or a paper towel, you can get a really nice smooth blend as well. So that's funny, they did a drawing of the tortillon. Well, that's not a tortillon, that's another blending tool. But these are also the 5 elements of shading that I went over with you guys, and you can see how the 5 value system applies to it. But this is just 5. I mean, we could really put 10 different kinds of values in there. This is a little explanation, kind of what I was talking about, the light, highlight, form, shadow, and so forth. Anyway, okay, so I think that is about it for right now. If you have any questions, please let me know. And again, for your homework this week, you are going to show progress on your midterm, meaning I'm going to see maybe 20 to 30% of it completed with value. Okay, so again, it's due week 8, but there will be progress homework each week. To get points for the homework, you must show extra progress on your midterm. Okay, cool. I'll be available during class hours. If you guys need anything, go ahead and message me, and I should be able to message right back. If not, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If it's during the week, it'll be, at least under 24 hours. If it's on the weekend, it might take a little bit longer, but it's the weekend. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. I will get back to you guys as soon as I can. I've been really liking what I'm seeing. You guys are doing a great job. I hope you have a great week, and I am looking forward to this assignment. Later.